Hello, guys. Welcome to Crypto Journal. My name is Paul. If you are new to the channel, on this channel, I share crypto news. I share a little bit of crypto education, and I also share a little bit about my crypto journey, my portfolio, and my journey to 100K in crypto, which is one of my goals. So, if that sounds like something you potentially might be interested in, consider subscribing to the channel. Okay, let's get into today's video. I came across this interesting article on Yahoo Finance, and it's about the finance minister in Luxembourg, the minister of finance for Luxembourg, and his optimism about Bitcoin and the fact that the country of Luxembourg is buying Bitcoin and they hold Bitcoin. So let's look at what the article says. So it says there was a tweet that went out on November 13th, and it says, just in, Luxembourg finance minister just said he is confident other countries will follow them and buy Bitcoin. As Michael Saylor says, there is no second best. If you don't know Michael Saylor is one of the I guess, evangelists of Bitcoin. He's the CEO of, I guess, MicroStrategy, and they're basically a Bitcoin treasury company, and their business model is basically buying and holding Bitcoin. So he's someone that's very bullish about Bitcoin and believes everybody should be in Bitcoin. But so the finance minister of Luxembourg says, the finance minister said Luxembourg's sovereign wealth fund already holds a 1% allocation to Bitcoin and stressed the position is a completed long-term investment. So I guess the countries, I don't know if that can be likened to their reserve, but their wealth fund already holds like 1% of their investment, or the total investment. I guess 1% of it is allocated to Bitcoin. And he stressed that they've already bought, I guess, the amount of Bitcoin that they want to hold for the long term, and they are holding for the long term. And I think that should serve as a little bit of encouragement right now because, if you've been in Bitcoin, if you've been in this crypto space, you will realize that over the past week or month, a couple months actually, we've been on a downward curve, right? The market has been pretty much going downwards, and it's causing a lot of people to panic. Most of us were expecting a bull run, but it's seeming right now that we may have topped out at around 125, and we've been going downwards since. And I think right now we're sitting at around $93,000 per Bitcoin, and we've been as high as 125,000. And the expectation was we would continue to climb, but the contrary is what's happening. But this is the finance minister of Luxembourg, and he's saying that they've already purchased the amount of Bitcoin that they want to hold for their sovereign wealth fund, and they're planning to hold for the long term. And I think that's the view that most of us need to take if we're in Bitcoin. It's going to be a long-term play. It's not going to get rich quick. You got to be able to handle the volatility because it's a very extremely volatile space. And I just wanted to reiterate that maybe you're watching and you're in a bit of a panic due to how the price of Bitcoin has been declining over the past couple months. Let that be a bit of an encouragement. But there's some more interesting news in this story, so stick with me. He noted the fund could have chosen any crypto asset, but opted only for Bitcoin, repeating Strategy Inc., MicroStrategy founder Michael Saylor's line that there is no second best. While I love Bitcoin, and I guess in terms of being a store of value, maybe there is no second best, but there are other cryptos that are worth holding as well. I will put that. I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I love Bitcoin, but I think there are other, while they're not rivals to Bitcoin, but I think there are others that are worth considering, such as XRP, such as Ethereum, such as XLM, and the like. But that's my opinion, right? I know that some people that are Bitcoin maximalists and all they care about is Bitcoin, which is equally fine. Everybody has to, follow their conviction, what they like, and their, stay in their lane, right? So No judgment there. The minister goes on and added that Bitcoin comes up frequently, and this is very important. Bitcoin comes up frequently in conversations with global financial institutions. Global financial institutions, the subject of Bitcoin comes up frequently. And this is very, very important because they're talking about Bitcoin. Financial institutions around the world, not just in America, not just in England, not just in Luxembourg, but around the world, it says globally, they're talking about Bitcoin. It's a topic that's constantly being discussed among the big boys in finance. And that's worth taking a note of. And said other countries are preparing to move in the same direction, meaning that wealth funds of other countries are also preparing to start buying Bitcoin, right? He described Luxembourg as in it for the long haul. In it for the long haul. That's why I like this article, because there's so many things that we can learn from this, that if you're going to be going into this space, you've got to be thinking about long term, not short term, not trying to make a quick buck, but have a long-term plan. In it for the long haul. What's long haul? 10, 15, 20 years. You've got to have that type of outlook. So that's the plan that they have. Okay? Where were we? In it for the long haul. And emphasize that the decision was not designed to attract attention. According to the minister, digital assets now sit on the agenda, listen to this, of every major financial meeting that he attends. Bitcoin is on the agenda of every major financial. If this is not telling you something, then I don't really know. Again, this is not any advice. This is not financial advice. This is not me telling you to buy, hold, or sell. But I think there's much to be learned. You've got to analyze and evaluate this type of information, because countries are buying it, financial ministers are discussing it on a global level, all right? And everybody, according to the minister, digital assets now sit on the agenda of every major financial meeting he attends, reflecting a structural shift in how governments evaluate future reserve plans and payment system. So governments are planning to make Bitcoin part of their reserve assets. And this is a global thing. So you do the math. When this starts to happen on a major scale, on a larger scale, there's only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoin. So when governments start to want it, and millionaires around the world start to want it, and billionaires start to want it, what's going to happen? So don't be discouraged. This is not financial advice, but in my opinion, don't be discouraged by the temporary downward pressure that we're currently experiencing, because it's going to be a patience game, and the patient worm, is was it the early bird gets the worm, they say, but in this context, the patient bird is going to get the worm. All right. Look at this. Another tweet. The Czech Nations Bank in the Czech Republic, it's another country in Eastern Europe, has purchased digital assets for the first time in its history. Through this $1 million investment, the Czech National Bank has created a test portfolio of digital assets based on blockchain, right? So this is another country, the Czech Republic. Their national bank has also purchased digital assets. It's starting to happen. It's starting to happen across the world, right? Luxembourg's buying. Czech Republic is buying. See, in a separate development, the Czech National Bank purchased digital assets for the first time, creating a $1 million test portfolio. The basket includes, look what's in the basket: Bitcoin, a USD stablecoin, and a tokenized deposit designed to evaluate blockchain-based settlement system. So this is a separate article. But look at that. They're coming in. Governments are coming in. Financial institutions are coming in. So if you already hold, you can do whatever you want, because it's not financial advice. But for me, I'm not going to be panicking and getting out of my position just because of some temporary setbacks. This thing And I dare say that the temporary setbacks that we're experiencing right now is them trying to push the price down so that they can come in at a cheaper price. So they want you to sell out of panic so that they can pick it up at a cheaper price. The crypto space is the first opportunity where regular folks like me and you have been able to get in ahead of the institutions. And now that they see where it's going, they're not happy about that. So they're trying to get us out of the game so they can get it at a cheaper price and then ride it up. So we all have our decisions to make. You can panic, sell, and then maybe regret later, or maybe not. Because ultimately nobody knows where it's going, right? But based on fundamentals, based on what we're seeing, based on institutional adoption, based on countries adopting it as part of their reserve, I think it's pretty obvious what's going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years. But I just wanted to share that news because I thought it was exciting and I think it's pretty relevant, especially in the current climate that we're in, where a lot of people may be stressed and anxious about what's happening with Bitcoin. Where is it going? Is it about to tank? Is it about to go to zero? I think news like this encourage and help you to keep in mind, where this thing is really going so that you can stay level-headed. But let me know what you think. Are you in Bitcoin? Which other cryptocurrencies are you in? How are you feeling about the market right now? Are you holding steadfastly or are you planning to sell? Are you reevaluating your position? What are you planning to do? Let me know in the comment section. If you've liked this video, if you've enjoyed it, please kindly like. Also consider subscribing to the channel to keep up to date with this type of content. I would really appreciate if you can help me do that so that can help me grow this channel. But yeah, thanks again for watching. And feel free to also check out some other videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.